Okay, Angelle. So I got your document here in front of me, and I want to show you some things. Okay, so like what we're trying to do is get edges right up to each other, and doing it with the paintbrush is too hard. It's too time consuming. Okay, so you have a document here that is, I don't know where this size came from, but it doesn't matter. I want to tell you, it's 34 inches wide by 4 feet, 4 feet long, 3 feet wide. It doesn't need to be this big. The resolution is low enough so the computer can handle it, but it's way too big. So when I create a new document, I'm going to choose File New. Right now I have a standard paper size. I'm just going to do a 10 inch by 10 inch. Remember, we want to make it like life size. So if you think about the front of a t-shirt, you could do like a 12 by 12. That would be fine. I'm going to do a 10 by 10 because this one's a little bit smaller. I'm going to call this Moon Night just to help me remember. I don't know. I'm not keeping this. But anyway, here I have it. So I'm going to look at what you're trying to do here. I want to try to do it. So I'll make a big ellipse, perfectly round. I'm holding shift as I drag out the circular marquee, the selection tool here. Okay. In a new layer, I'll create that dark blue background. I want to think about making everything from background to foreground and then cutting everything out, okay, from the back. So I'm using the dark blue paint bucket, fill it on its own layer. I can Control D to deselect. Okay. Now I know halfway down there's a grass or whatever this is right here. So I want to introduce you to my little friend called the pen tool. Okay. The pen tool takes a little practice to get used to, but once you learn it, you're like, how did I ever live without the pen tool? So to create a curved, it's called a Bezier curve. You can look it up if you want to know, but you probably don't. You just want to know how to draw with it. When I click and drag, it will start to make a rounded shape. You're like, well, Mr. Nailitz, that's a path. What am I supposed to do with that? I want it to be a selection. So once I make a path, though, if I open the paths panel, here it is, I can turn it into a selection. See that? If I have this on, I can go up here and it says selection. And if I have a selection running, I'll make sure I'll put that circle back on. Selection, add to, see where I'm going? Up at the top, subtract from selection, or intersect with selection. I'll choose subtract from. Say OK. And now everything is, I probably want the opposite of that, but so let me go back. Selection, intersect with selection. And that's what I wanted. See, I wanted this part because then I want to make this green. I'll make a new layer. This is getting confusing, but let's just keep with it. I know you're like, oh my God, my head is spinning, but it's fine. So I'm going to fill this in with that color. Notice I have a new layer. Don't worry, it looks okay. There's my ground. So what I want to do when I'm making a screen print is just subtract this from this. So I can control key and click this, it reselects. So I'm creating the shape just so I can make a selection from it and cut it away from this one. Now I switch layers and I hit delete. You can see the bottom of that just disappeared. And now there's no funny line between the two. Okay. If I move this down a hair, which I wouldn't want to do, but if I did, now I can see the gap. Hit Control Z. Okay, let's practice a little more with the pen tool. I want to make a beautiful moon up here. I don't know who gave me this idea, but I'm going to make a moon on top here. I can change the order. There's the sky. There's the grass. I want to make a moon. I want to make a oval or circle. And then on that selection, I'll choose take away from selection up here in the options bar. I'm dragging it out, but I'll hold down the space bar as I do, and now I'm situating it where I want it with the space bar while I'm making a live selection. Release, and now I have a moon. In a new layer, I'll fill that in with the yellow, whatever color. I could change the color later, it doesn't matter. Okay, so paint bucket, boink. Now I'll take this. Well, let me get all my stars drawn. Let's practice with the pen tool again. So I'll use the pen tool. I'm going to click and drag straight down a little bit and then click over here, drag. Now I'm pressing Alt down so I can swing this around. Then I'll come down here, click and drag. Press Alt so I can swing the angle around. Over here, click and drag. Alt. Look, I have a live selection going. I can come in with the white arrow. That's what this is for. When I click on it, it becomes live again. I'm going to hit Alt so I can swing that in. I must have made a mistake. I can move these points around. This one, I'm going to hit Alt so I can turn it. See, I'm drawing the star. And now I have a live drawing that I can modify and move. See, I'm squeezing that in to get the angle. I'm going to make this star type shape like this on its own layer. I'll call this is the moon layer. I want to make a new layer. Stars. Hitting enter. I'm going to turn this into a path. From a path into a selection. And fill it with the moon color. Same color, right? We remember we limited our colors on a screen print. Control D. Now, I don't know if that's the best way I want to do. I can go to the pen tool and choose shape instead of path. I'm still on this stars layer and click, drag. Drawing. It should have made a solid fill that time. Let's see, I can throw that path away, just drag it into the trash. Back to the pen. It was still on shape. I want it to be shape. It might make a new layer. Yeah, it should. There we go. The fill is set to nothing. I'll set it to this color. Stroke, I want none. I don't want an outline, so I choose none, nothing. Okay. So again, I can come in now that I made a basic shape, grab these anchor points. If I hit Alt, I can fold it over, drag it. If I hit Alt, again, I can fold it over to get the shape I was looking for. Fold it. Hey, I said Alt. Sometimes I miss the button press. I'll move that one down. See, it's nice because you don't have to redraw. You just change. I can alter these too, pressing Alt to change the angle. I can take one away. Under the pen tool is tools like convert anchor point, take away, take this one out. Go back to the white arrow. This is the direct selection tool. This works in Illustrator. This is basically the way Illustrator works to draw in, shrink the size of this. Okay, however you do it though, I like these two pretty well. I could use it the other way though. I could make a pointy, go back to regular pen tool, make a pointy star. There, I like that. But I don't like it perfectly. This one is off. I like to move it. So I can. going to be very small anyway, so I don't care. I'm going to go with this one. Now look what I can do. Look, I'll dump the other ones in the trash. Delete, delete. This one I'll keep. I will rasterize. I'm right clicking. Rasterize layer. I'll use the eraser. I don't want this little part. So now it's not a path anymore. It's just a regular pixel image. And now I'm going to take this. I'm going to make a group of these. Alt to drag it out. When I press Alt with the Move tool, it copies things. This time I'm going to flip it. So on this layer, I'm going to hit Control T. I can flip it over like this or rotate it so it looks like more like they're all different. You know, I don't have to redraw it a million times. I could just have like a couple varieties. Enter. Okay, this one I'll change a little bit. Control T. I'll just rotate it and shrink it. Now that I have a couple of these like this, I'll smash them together into one layer. I'm hitting Control and clicking right now, and then Control E, which is I'm just merging the ones that I selected. Let me do that again because I'm going too fast. So I made 3 stars. One, I'll hold Control, click again. From the panel flyout, I will choose Merge Layers. Control E is what I'm pressing because I want to be faster. I'm going to hit Control T, shrink those down, enter, and now I'm going to copy these multiple times, and I'll rotate those too. Now you could do one at a time. It's starting to look a little fake. I don't want that many, you know. Be careful. I'll lock this. Lock. Now nothing will. That's pretty good. Alt. I'm trying to be careful not to make them look too fake. Now I know you'll do it all your own way. Let's see. These are merging again. Control E. But and if I get a field going of these, then I could merge all these again. E and then erase the ones I don't want. Okay, so however you make them. Yes, I'm going to erase these ones. I don't want these ones too close to the moon. And then maybe I'll just loop a couple of these since these are all together on one layer. I'll take the loop tool, and the ones, if I like to have another one of these ones, I'll loop it, I'll hit V, Alt, and I can drag that one as many times as I want to balance everything out. You know, see, I got the little guy. Just trying to create Control D. Then maybe I'll loop this one this time. Make sure I'm in my original layer. V, Alt. Okay, I'm happy. Control D. So I got my stars. You can see all blanket of stars. Moon. I want that all to be 1. Control E. And now I'm going to subtract that from the blue. So it's like stamping it out with a paper cutter or something like that. So I hit Control, click. You see all my moon and stars selected. And then in this, I have to unlock it. I'll delete. Notice what I did. I selected the stars, then I switched to the one I want to delete from, and I delete it. Now you can see my deselect. Now you can see my stars here. Now they look white, but basically they're clear. That would be my blue screen. Okay, I think that's enough for you to understand what I'm asking you to do. I want you to try practicing the pen. I want you to try doing this where you make the shape and you cut it, you select it. Remember, I'm hitting Control, select. I think there's a way to do select. I don't know if there's another way to select whatever's in that layer. So if I select the layer and I choose select all, now it selects the whole thing. If it's all one color, I guess I could choose discontinuous and all of that one color in that layer. It'll do the same thing that way since it's all one solid color. But honestly, just learn that. Control with the move tool, and if you click the thumbnail, it'll select all the contents of that layer. Then you can delete it from any layer once you have that selection, which I've already done. Okay? All right. Try that, and then like next time I talk to you, maybe I'll show you on the classroom, but I'm going to send this to you as a link. Okay? All right.